Hello, welcome to episode 258 of the Craft House Magic podcast. My name's Ellie and I'm coming to you from Norwich in Norfolk in the UK, and today is the 19th of October. So welcome everybody. I hope you've all had a lovely crafty time since the last time I've spoken to you, and I'm here to share all the things that I've been making. So today I have some knitting, I have some crochet, a little bit of sewing in the form of English paper piecing. I have some information in my what's occurring section of what's been going on, and a little appearance from Jensen at the end of the podcast with something handmade as well. So first of all, I've got some knitting to show you, but I have had a few days sort of sitting and relaxing at home, so I've been able to catch up with the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along and a few other projects. So this week I have sort of stopped stocking yarn and bags just for a couple of weeks in the shop because I had some surgery on Saturday. I've just been having a bit of a relax, but I still thought I'd pop on and do a video for you today. So the hand-dyed yarn and project bags will be back in the shop in November, so don't worry about that. I just thought I'd give myself a little bit of a break from doing all the things in my shop, just while I'm recovering a little bit. But I'm well on the way to recovery, and I'm feeling really good after quite a few days of just nice and sitting and resting, so that's good. So I have been working on my Geogradient shawl, and this is clue 2. So if you haven't seen this clue and you want to keep it a secret, skip along the video. I'll put a timestamp on the screen now so you know what time to move along to, so you don't get any spoilers. But clue 3 has been out today, so hopefully if you are following along with it, there's not really spoilers for you. So I'm going to show you now what I've managed to do. This is going to be a bit awkward to show you, but so far I have clue 1, which is this centre section here, and then these outside bits on the edge. So clue 1, there was a change of plan to the original of the design because some people saw the hate symbol in it, so of course it had to be changed, and I decided as well that I'd do the one that Stephen sort of rewrote, and it was quite a plain square, which is the bit in the centre with lots of stripes. You knit it from the centre outwards. There was an unusual sort of cast on method that you do in a circle, so you could pull the tail to draw it in at the centre, which I thought was really good. So that was quite fun to have a go at. It was very similar to it was sort of crochet, so I've done that sort of a crochet beginning before, but I've never done it for knitting, so that was fun. So that one finished, so you had live stitches on all 4 sides, and then you picked up one side and then you went backwards and forwards, doing these eyelet sections dispersed with reverse stockinette, which I thought was quite fun. So it makes this sort of lozenge shape. There is a sort of flattened edge on either side rather than it being the same all the way round, but it's difficult to show you because it's a rather unusual shape. So I do think actually so far this pattern has got lots of sort of really basic techniques in, and I do believe that section 4 is going to be the most sort of flamboyant from what Stephen said in his videos on the tutorials, but I'm not obviously going to give any spoilers, and I have watched the video this morning for the new clue and I'm excited to get onto the next stage, but I'm not going to give you any spoilers for that, of course, because you've got to knit along yourself. But I'm really pleased with how these colours have come together. I've got 4 colours. They were called It's Only Natural. I just designed the colours to go together in a sort of very sort of a natural palette. I've got a grey beige, a sort of dusky blue, a sort of emerald green, and then a tealy bluey green there that I thought would go really nicely with jeans really, but be quite a natural looking palette. And actually you could get it's quite masculine as well. I think if you could wear that for a man quite easily, if you're into a masculine palette. So that is what I've managed to do. I have got the stitches on 2 sets of needles either side, and I'm ready to start the next clue this afternoon, so that'll be exciting to have a go at. I'm really pleased with how that's come along. I decided, so Stephen had, so lots of people had given sort of alternative centres, and there was a few that were absolutely gorgeous, and I nearly started doing a couple. There was a couple of them that I really fancied doing, but then I thought, hang on, Stephen is quite a flamboyant designer. Now I'm not so keen sometimes when it's a bit too much, so I thought if he's decided that the centre is good to be quite a plain square like this, then I'm going to go with that, because obviously the rest is going to be super busy. So that's what I'm going to go with the sort of impact square in the centre. So that's why I decided to do that. Also, I cast on when I was in the waiting room in the hospital, and I thought, do you know what, I want something nice and easy, and that looked pretty easy to do. So I just cast on and managed to actually knit, I think, most of the centre square when I was waiting for my surgery, because I seemed to be like last on the list. So that was good. I was able to get so much done on the Saturday anyway. These other eyelet areas, they seem to take forever to sort of knit on. Well, at least on the first one, I've got sort of halfway, I was thinking, oh my goodness, this is taking forever. But actually I just sort of said, right, come on, plough on with it. And actually, when I was sort of thinking, right, let's plough on with it, it then sort of went really quickly, so it wasn't too bad at all. So once you get sort of halfway on those stripes and got used to doing the eyelets, it's actually quite a nice easy knit once you've got into that pattern. And I actually really like how sort of it's quite a simple overall look to the design so far, so who knows what's going to turn into. So that is my Stephen West, and it is in my It's Only Natural yarn set. When I start dyeing yarn again after the recovery, after my surgery, I will have some of the kits available if you want to get hold of those. So that is my first knitting project to show you. I have a second one which I've been working on for a while. So these are the Songbird mitts by Heusser, and they've got a beautiful bird in colourwork on the front, and then you've got this gorgeous design on the back as well. Which I absolutely love. So I finished the one a while ago, and I've now picked up these mittens again. I've got them in a DPN case. I'm working on these higher flyer trio needles because I like those for colour work, and I've managed to work from where the progress keeper is. So I haven't done loads on this, but I find that I can only knit it in the evenings when Jensen has gone to bed with this, because I like to have my chart in one of these magma chart keepers. I can't show you the chart obviously because it's a paid for pattern, but it's got a magnet that you can mark exactly where you are in the chart. But Jensen really likes to pull the magnets off, and obviously magnets are dangerous for young children, so I like to keep them away from him. So I only do this in the evenings, but it has made a reasonable amount of progress since the last time I showed you, since I hadn't picked it up for a while. But I really love this pattern. I haven't got the thumb started yet. Obviously I'm going to do that when I finish the actual hand part of the mittens, but they are a gorgeous pattern by Heusser, and I am using some Jamieson Smith. I do have some balls that I've actually unopened, so I bought 2 each of these. This colourway is 1283 mix, and this one is the FC21 mix. So I chose those together to be quite a subtle mixture of colours for those bird mittens. So they're working out quite nicely. Hopefully I can get some more progress for those next week as well. I have got another pair of colourwork mittens on my Make 9 list to achieve for this year, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to finish these and get on to the next pair as well. So because I'd made so much good progress on my colourwork mittens, I thought, well, I might as well cast on something new. You can't really tell what it is yet, so this is the extent that I've done of my new start project. These are the Rauna slippers. I don't know if that's how you pronounce them, and the pattern is by Heino, and I will pop a picture up here what they look like. But these are slippers, and basically this is how it's going to work. You seam up that side, and then once you've knitted enough length for the size of shoe you're going to be knitting, you can then join in the round and knit over the foot where there's a pattern bit as well. So that'd be quite easy to assemble, but I've knitted that much so far. Big strip, and it's sort of quite a dark grey, so you probably can't see it very well, but it is in a Lettlope yarn that I picked up from the East Anglia Yarn Festival, and I got it from a shop called 80 Skeins. I've left a little card in there which is useful. So that was at the East Anglia Yarn Festival, and that is 100% wool, and 50 grams is 100 meters, and that's a worsted weight pure new wool. and I've fancied using some Lettlope for a while, so I thought I'd treat myself at the show, and I specifically bought them to make these slippers with. So that is how far I've got so far. So I'm afraid I haven't got to the pattern bit, and I'm hoping that because this yarn is quite dark, you will be able to see the pattern next time I show it to you. Fingers crossed, we shall see. But I have started that. I know that I mentioned them on the podcast once when the pattern had just come out, and the pattern wasn't actually in English, but it is now in English. I am following the English pattern version, so you can get it in English now. So that is the version, that's the slippers I'm knitting. I am following the pattern for the second size up. Let's have a look at the range of sizes they do. So there is the sizes 36 to 37 is the first size. This is in the European shoe sizes. 38 to 39 is the second size. 40 to 41 is the third size, and then 42 to 43 is the fourth size. So I am a UK sort of size 5 or 6, and that's about 38, 39. So I'm going for the second size. So there is a reasonable range of sizes in the slipper pattern as well. And of course, because it's a knitted item, it probably stretches quite a lot anyway, so you've got a little bit of give there. So those are my slippers. So the next thing I've got to show you is some crochet. Now this I started a little while ago. This I finally finished after I started a little while ago. This is Bridget the elephant, and it's a pattern by Terry Lord, and it's one of the Toft kits. So I bought the yarn from the quilt show, the Festival of Quilt show actually. The Toft were there, and this yarn is just so gorgeous. I'd made a fox for Jensen a little while ago, and then I saw the elephant hanging from their displays, and I just thought, oh, how cute. Mine isn't quite as nice as the ones on display, I must admit. I think I've made the ears a little bit close to the head, but I thought, you know what, I'm not going to do it again. Plus, Jensen already loves it, so that's okay. I've just sewn some eyes using some satin stitch, so I just followed the pattern really, but he is crocheted as per instructions. I did find when I was doing the crocheted tail that the actual ends of the tail weren't quite as long as the pattern said you should end up with, but I think it doesn't really matter. That can be just a little different touch that my particular elephant comes out like. So he's for Jensen to play with. He's not just for display. I just love the Toft design of how the little limbs sort of flop, and he's a lot of fun to make. I have the book Edward's Menagerie, and it's got some lovely patterns in. There's a few others I'd like to have a go at, so hopefully I'll get round to those. But that is Bridget the elephant. And I think you can buy the pattern separately as well from Ravelry. I'll pop a link to the book and the Ravelry pattern for Bridget if you're looking to make her. So there we go. So I'd been taking some English paper piece in hexagons to my local quilt group for a couple of times now, and the last time I went I actually started to assemble, so I thought I'd show you the beginnings of my sort of rainbow of colour of hexagons that I'd assembled. I have got a big stack that I've put onto the papers. I've got a bit of a rainbow of colour. So these fabrics I purchased from Alice Caroline Fabrics from the Festival of Quilts, and I've got a stack of small pieces so that I can have a big range of colours to make a little tray cover. I've got a little lap tray to do my sewing on, and I thought it would be nice to have a little hexagon cover to go over them. So I'm using the hexiforms, which I can leave in, and I thought that would pad it a little bit as well. And I'm going to do a little bit of a rainbow working across there, starting with the pinks, and I've just started to move across to the blues, but I've got these stacked to add on there as well. That's how I've got on so far. So there we go. So that is my English paper piece, and I haven't done loads, but hopefully that'll be something that I can work on when I go to my quilt group. It'll be something I can take with me nice and easily, so I can give you an update on that every so often when I've done a decent amount on it. So I'm on to my what's occurring section now. So there's a few things that I wanted to mention. I hadn't done a proper podcast for quite a few weeks, but I had a couple of other videos that weren't podcast based that I thought you might be interested in, including the Afterthought thumb tutorial I did a couple of weeks ago, and then I did one on Ikea craft storage as well. So a few ideas on the current stock that they've got at Ikea, and then comparing it to my craft room as well. So you might find that useful if you're having a redesign of your craft room, or if you wanted to look at different storage solutions for your craft things. So this weekend, this Sunday the 22nd of October, we've got a Barbara's Day Out at Dunston Hall. That's this Sunday at 2 p.m. in the Terrace bar. So you don't need to let me know that you're coming, you can just turn up on the day, because we don't need to book a table, we can just meet up and have a chat about all the crafty goodness. So it'll be lovely to see you if you could come. So that's this Sunday the 22nd of October at Dunston Hall in the Terrace bar at 2 p.m. I will pop the details and the link to the website for Dunston Hall in the description bar down below as well. So I have failed to draw prizes for the monthly subscriber giveaway I was doing for the last couple of months. So I thought I'd give you a warning. If you're not subscribed yet, subscribe to my email list. If you subscribe to my email list, you could be in with a chance of winning some of those prizes. So normally I give away a set of my yarn clubs, which is the mini set and the sock set. So you could win those. And I've got a couple of months to draw now. So if you subscribe, you could be in with a higher chance of winning. So that, and also I'm going to have some leftover advents going in the shop next week. So if you subscribe to my email list, you'll be the first to know about the advents going in the shop. But I should be able to mention that on the podcast to remind you next week as well. But if you go over to my website, scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's a little box where you can pop your email address to subscribe to my newsletter email updates. I've also been rubbish about drawing prizes as well for the Makalongs. So even though I said that they'd be closed already, some of them are still open, like the Craft 20 a Day and the Summer Sock Along. So if you get your last entries in, I will be drawing for those next week, just to give you that bit of an extra chance to join in. I have been rubbish about keeping up with everything because I was in a mad panic about getting all the advent calendars out and all the Christmas kits out in time before my surgery, in case there was any sort of complications or anything and I wouldn't be able to sort those kits out afterwards. But they are all done, they're all posted out now, so hopefully you should be getting those in the next week or two if you are international. So if you haven't received those by the end of next week, do let me know, so then I know that there are some that I'm sort of waiting to arrive, and I'll make sure that those arrive before I then sell the extras, so that I know that I've got some extras to replace any that get lost. But normally I don't get any that get lost, so fingers crossed they'll arrive nice and safely in the next week or so. So the last section is just over to you, Jensen. Jensen, where's your elephant? Where's your elephant? Where's he gone? Where's your elephant? He's there, look! That's our elephant! What do you think? Oh, you throw him at me. Do you like him? Oh, right. Oh. Let's come to say hello. You're too busy looking at the camera again. Oh, right. Are you going to show everybody the Cozy Memories blanket that you've been cuddling up in over there? Where's the blanket, Jensen? You going to show the blanket? Oh, you've got Mummy's camera case. This is the Cozy Memories blanket. I've done a tutorial on my channel. I'll leave some links below to where you can see some tutorials on how I did that. But Jensen's far too interested in the camera case rather than things I've made for him. But there you go. Can you say bye-bye, Jensen? Bye-bye. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. And I shall see you in the next video. Bye.